Now, Prince Harry, wow, what a row this is. He's been accused of harassment and bullying by the chairman of the charity Centre Bali, which he set up in honour of his mother's memory. The charity chairman, Dr Sophie Chanduka, is claiming the Duke tried to sabotage the organisation before he quit earlier this week without referring to her. In response, we've heard from a source close to Harry and other trustees, but not Harry himself, who left Centre Bali, saying they fully expected this was... They thought this was a publicity stunt from Dr Chanduka. They remain firm in their resignation, look forward to the adjudication of the truth. Well, let's try and make sense of this with the royal broadcaster, Rafe Heydel-Mankoo. Rafe, this is astonishing. Not only has Prince Harry been accused of bullying and harassment, this woman, who's an articulate Nigerian lawyer, says there's been, the 540 people who work for the charity, there's been misogyny, a misogynoir, a word I'd not come across before, by people running the charity. Now,
yeah, these are some startling accusations made, including today, reiterated and expanded upon to a degree. And whether they're true or not, I'm sure many people, including some of our viewers, will be having a moment of schadenfreude that the Sussexes are getting a taste of their own medicine,
Quite.
having finding themselves in just the position that they put the royal family in with their baseless accusations, including suggestions of bullying and racism. And as you say, Dr Chanduka is a very impressive figure. Right? This is not a thin-skinned snowflake. This is a woman who is an international corporate lawyer, has served in senior roles in international banks like Morgan Stanley, a biotech entrepreneur, and someone who has served in senior roles at Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram. And this is a woman who knows the law. And if she's so confident that she could actually launch a lawsuit here, she must think that she has firm grounds to stand on. Right, so what are her allegations? She alleges bullying, as you say.
Yeah.
She says there's been a concerted effort for months by Prince Harry and others to remove her from office, and that she has documentation to prove this from others who were attending these meetings and were shocked at her treatment. She also says that there was a campaign by Prince Harry and his team to undermine Centre Bali, fundraising initiatives of hers, in order to remove her, because if she can't raise the money, she'd have to go. And there's allegations that sponsors were being turned against her there as well. And then also saying essentially that at meetings, Prince Harry would essentially try to just take control of these meetings and propose his own ideas, which hadn't been approved and on the minutes. You know, appointing someone to the board without the approval of the entire board, just himself and his proxy and another person seconding it, trying to bring a Netflix film crew to a polo match for Centre Bali, which was a major fundraising initiative, and that led to the polo ground removing itself and denying them to have the right to have the game there because they agreed to it as a charity, not as a commercial venture.
Yeah.
All of these sorts of things are happening. I think it's extremely damaging for Prince Harry, who, of course, we have to acknowledge, for him, Centre Bali has been one of the only anchor points in his adult life. You know, for all the tumult and turmoil he's been through, that's been something that's given him at least some grounding and something on which to peg his credentials as a humanitarian.
explain the word
Misogynoir. So yes, amongst the accusations are that Prince Harry is guilty of bullying, harassment, misogyny, and misogynoir. Now this is a new term.
Didn't know that word.
Which apparently means misogyny against black women. Yeah. And the irony here, of course, is that this is precisely the sort of term you would have imagined Meghan to have come up with, and is being used against her husband.
Just before I bring the panel in, people will say, well, what about their side of the story? Meghan told Oprah Winfrey that somebody in the royal family, unnamed, was racist and asked questions about what colour the skin would be of her unborn child. Not that I ever thought that was a particularly offensive question to ask in the first place, but that's not the point. And, of course, this story never even appeared in Harry's muckraking book, Spare. So they, as you point out, they're getting a taste of their own medicine. But this woman has what she says pages of evidence of bullying, harassment and racism.
Yes, she has documentation from external sources and other advisors who were at these meetings who said, essentially passed a note saying, shall we interrupt this? We can't believe what's happening to you. Yeah. So if it's true, I mean, we're going to have to see. Now, this has been referred to the Charity Commission, who are going to have to do a full investigation into the foundations of Centre Bali. So there is more to come on this story.
Right.
Have you been getting a load of spam in your email recently? What about random calls? It's really annoying, isn't it? Data brokers are out there collecting your personal information. Anything from your email, your full name, your address, and even your political affiliation. Cyber criminals can even use AI to mimic the voices of friends and family to trick people into sending them money. And it gets even worse. People out there are getting huge loans taken out in their names without even knowing about it. But don't worry, because the sponsor of this video, Incogni, can help. They reach out to the data brokers on your behalf and request that your information is removed from their databases. Incogni continues to make sure that your data is removed automatically from the internet via repeated removal requests. So, how can you get started? Well, step 1, hit the link in the description. Create an Incogni account and tell us whose data you'd like removed. Step 2, grant Incogni the right to work on your behalf. Step 3, sit back, relax, and watch Incogni work. They will update consistently so you know when your data has been removed. Incogni is risk-free for 30 days, so you can try it for yourself and you'll get a free refund if the service isn't for you. So take back your personal data today with Incogni. Use the code GBNews using the link in the description below and you'll get 60% off an annual payment plan.
Bring the panel briefly, Mike.
Yeah.
Harry, how damaging is this for Harry, especially in America?
Oh, it's massively damaging, and as Rafe's already said, one of the building blocks of his life, one of the ones that was left, has now crumbled. But Rafe, let me ask you, how important do you think the incident in which Meghan told this lady in charge, Dr. Shanduka, get out of the way when the picture was taken? How relevant do you think that is to what's happened since?
Well, you might well think that. I mean, obviously, all of this is speculation. We don't really know. But
it happened. We've all seen it happen.
Yeah.
And I thought it was horrible when I saw it then.
Out the way.
Yeah.
And she is the chairman of the charity.
Meghan wasn't even supposed to be at that event. That's why it was so badly choreographed. No one knew she was going to be there. And then, of course, she put herself in between the patron and essentially the CEO, the chairman of the trustees here in this photo shoot. And then, of course, the PR team of Harry and Meghan wanted Dr. Chandalka to issue a statement to say, no, everything is fine and hunky-dory.
I wasn't insulted.
And she said, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to become part of your PR machine because this is a high-flying woman who's not going to play these silly, petty games.
Matthew, this whole, just to remind people, Centre Bali, it's helping families who have been blighted by the scourge of AIDS, which is a big problem in Africa. Princess Diana in the 80s and 90s was a hugely symbolic, important figure in helping people be less ignorant about AIDS and HIV. That's why this is so shattering for the reputation of Harry.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was founded in memory of his mother, and what would his mother be saying now? I mean, this is...
Centre Bali is Lesotho for forget-me-not, which was Diana's favourite flower.
Absolutely, and obviously a flower of remembrance. So, I mean, look, this is absolutely disastrous for Harry, and it just proves that the real dilemma is that, you know, it was always going to happen. There was always going to be a disaster, because when a PR machine and a charity collide, there's going to be friction. And quite rightly, the charity is going to win in the sense that that's doing something that's of value to people in the world, and the PR machine's doing something that's of value only to the person behind it.
Last 30 seconds, that's what we've got, Rafe. Can Harry recover from this? Can he get back to the charity, or is that done for?
Well, I mean, the thing is, there's been a huge culture clash here. He's resigned, but we have to say also Prince Siso of Lesotho has resigned. The entire Board of Trustees has resigned. But the Board of Trustees are very much part of Prince Harry's set.
Rafe, was it...
the actual Stantabali, the organisation of 500 people, they're going in new, different directions. And I think this is a culture clash between an old guard and a new guard.
OK, we're done, chaps. Sorry, we'd like to have more time. Now, if you